you're sitting in your driveway. The engine is off, but you're still holding the steering wheel, staring at a notification on your phone. It's an email from your bank. Subject line: your loan has been paid in full. You take a breath. And for the first time in 60 months, the air feels different. It's lighter. You look at the dashboard of your 2021 Toyota RAV4, a car that most people would call profoundly boring, and you realize that while the car hasn't changed, your entire financial trajectory just did. My name is Zen, and I spend way too much time thinking about the weird ways we sabotage our own freedom for the sake of looking successful to people we don't even like. Because here is the math that the guy at the dealership, the one with the 3 different phone numbers in his email signature, never wants you to see. The day you pay off your car loan is the day you actually start becoming wealthy. Most people treat a paid-off car like an excuse to go get a new one. They think, well, I can afford the $748 a month, so I might as well drive something with that new car smell. But today, we're going to run the actual numbers on why that $748 is the most expensive mistake you'll ever make, and how keeping that boring car can literally turn you into a millionaire. Asterisk. The $748 illusion. Let's talk about that number. $748. That is the average new car payment in 2025. To most people, that's just a line item. It's the price of admission for living in a suburban cul-de-sac. But, in the world of wealth building, that $748 is a financial horror movie. When you sign that loan, you aren't just buying a car, you're trading your future for a depreciating hunk of metal and plastic that loses 20% of its value the second you drive it over the curb. You are choosing to set nearly $800 on fire every month just for the privilege of impressing strangers at red lights who are too busy looking at their own phones to notice you. Here is the math that breaks people's brains. If you take that average $748 car payment and, instead of rolling it into a new lease, you invest it in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund at historical 10% returns, that money becomes $1.69 million over 30 years. Read that again. You aren't choosing between a 2021 Toyota and a 2026 BMW. You are choosing between a BMW and $1.69 million in cash. The secret? Life of the boring millionaire. There's a study by Dave Ramsey that surveyed over 10,000 actual millionaires. Do you know what the #1 car brand among American 7-figure households is? It's not Porsche. It's not Mercedes. It's Toyota. Number 2 is Honda. Number 3 is Ford. Meanwhile, research by Thomas Stanley found that 86% of luxury vehicles in this country are driven by people who are not millionaires. When you see a brand new G-Wagon roll past you, the statistically correct emotional response isn't envy, it's mild concern. That person is likely drowning in poverty math, trying to sustain a lifestyle that their paycheck can't actually support. The guy in your neighborhood driving the 10 Camry, the one with the slightly faded polo and the shrug, when you ask why he hasn't upgraded, that's the guy you should be watching. That shrug is the sound of wealth. He paid cash for that car years ago, and he plans to drive it until the wheels fall off in 2031. He isn't making a statement. He's just refusing to participate in a system designed to keep him broke. Jessica versus Amanda. The tale of 2 paychecks. Let's look at 2 people, Jessica and Amanda. They're both 28. They both make $65,000 a year, and they live in the same city. Amanda drives a brand new BMW 3 Series. Her payment is $750 a month. She thinks she's doing great because she looks the part of a successful professional. She has $3,200 in her investment account. Jessica drives a 2019 Honda Civic. She bought used, she paid it off early, and now has 0 car payment. She takes that same $750 and automates it into her index funds. Fast forward to age 55. This is where compound interest goes vertical. Jessica is sitting on $152 million. Amanda, she has $218,000. Amanda is now panicking, Googling how to catch up on retirement at 55, and realizing she needs to save 40% of her income just to survive. Jessica is already planning which beach she's going to retire on. The only difference between a multimillionaire and someone who is trapped working until they're 72 is what they did with their car payment in their 20s and 30s. Why? Your brain wants you to stay broke now. You might be thinking, Zen, I get the math, but I really need a reliable car. And you're right. You do. But your brain is a 200,000-year-old piece of hardware that is actively trying to keep you poor. It's called present bias. Your brain would rather have the berries, now the heated leather seats, and the fancy infotainment system than $3 million in 40 years. It has no framework for understanding that $500 today is actually $50,000 in the future. The financial industry knows this. They spend millions of dollars on marketing to convince you that your car is your identity. They extend loans to 7 or 8 years just so the monthly payment looks affordable, while they steal your retirement $748 at a time. They want you to believe that throwing money away on rent is a sin, but they'll never tell you that paying $392,000 in interest to a bank over 30 years is also throwing money away just with extra steps. The power of optionality when you pay off that car. You aren't just saving money. You're buying time. Truly wealthy people understand that the entire point of money is to buy back your freedom. Every financial decision is a filter. Does this purchase make me freer, or does it make me more obligated? A leased luxury car obligates you to a $1,200 payment. That's less freedom. A paid-off Toyota frees you to put that money into an index fund. That's more freedom. That freedom is what allows you to take a 6-month sabbatical, switch careers, or retire 10 years earlier. It's the eerie calm you see in financially stable people. They aren't worried about the price of eggs or a sudden medical bill because they aren't paying interest to anyone but themselves. Think about Ronald Read. He was a gas station attendant and a janitor in Vermont. He never made more than $20,000 a year. Hedrovastentrate strianotone. When headed age 92, his neighbors found 8 million stock portfolio. Asterisk. How did a janitor get $8 million? He didn't pick the next hot stock. He just bought blue chip companies, reinvested the dividends, and never had a car payment. He let time and compounding do the heavy lifting while he lived a quiet, intentional life. Asterisk the Zen system for post-car loan success. So you've just made that last payment. What do you actually do tomorrow to make sure this is the turning point? You don't need willpower. You need automation. Don't change your lifestyle. Your brain is going to see that extra $748 and want to upgrade to a nicer apartment or fancier dinners. This is lifestyle inflation, and it's a trap. Build your fortress. If you don't have $2,000 in a high-yield savings account, take that first month's payment and put it there. That's your psychological safety net. It's what stops you from making panicked financial decisions when the water heater inevitably explodes on a Tuesday. Open a Roth IRA. If you're under the income limit, this is the Swiss Army knife of wealth building. Everything grows tax-free forever. Buy the market. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to time the market or pick the next Tesla. Just buy a low-cost S&P 500 index fund like VOO or FXX. Set it and forget it. Set up an automatic transfer for that $748 or even just $500 on the first of every month. Then stop checking your account. Research shows that people who check their accounts the least actually end up the wealthiest because they don't panic sell during a crash. The reality check. Look, I know what the comments are going to say. Zen, the world is different now. My parents could buy a house for 2 times their income, and now it's 9 times. And you're right. The system is more distorted than it's ever been. The American dream has been reclassified as something only the top 12% can comfortably afford. But that is exactly why you cannot afford to play the looking rich game. When the structural math of the country is moving against you, your only defense is defense. Getting rich requires risk, but staying rich requires humility and frugality. It requires the slight paranoia that the flashy lifestyle everyone else is chasing is actually a beautifully decorated trap. Tomorrow, walk through your neighborhood and really look at the houses. The one with the brand new Tesla and the manicured lawn. That person might be one missed bonus away from a very difficult conversation with the bank. The one with the boring sedan and the slightly overgrown hedges. Statistically, that's the one with $2 million sitting quietly inside it. The day you pay off your car loan is a fork in the road. Path A leads back to the dealership. It leads to more debt, more poverty math in a Target parking lot, and a retirement spent wondering where the money went. Path B leads to a Roth IRA. It leads to the shrug. It leads to a version of you 40 years from now who is checking an account with $3.16 million in it, feeling completely eerily relaxed about the future. Both of these people are you. The only thing that determines which one becomes real is what you do with that $748 in the next 30 minutes. Open the account, set up the transfer, buy the fund, and then go live your actual life while the math works in the background. If this helped you see your boring car in a new light, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and tell me what you're driving and how close you are to that paid in full. Email I. Read every single one. The math doesn't wait, and neither should you. I'll see you in the next one.